wealthy ones. Oh yeah, let's go. Yay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for making it to the update and to deal number 5 update. This is amazing. Vangile, if you can hear me, can you do the math, please, so that we know how much we have raised between August and today, where we stand? So everyone, I'm going to start sharing my slides. Vangile is going to do part of the presentation, and then there's a part that I am going to tell you about deal 5. So let's just have a look at what... Then you didn't make me a host. I can't share.
I did. Wait. Sorry, Nizo.
It's okay.
Oh, there we go.
It's all right. And good evening to people who have never been to our webinar. I'm hoping we are going to stay on time, but it's not the biggest thing here. We don't do time. Vangile doesn't have a watch. So am I a host now? Oh, goody.
Yes, you are.
So I'm gonna share my slides, and Violet is just joining. Slides. Interesting. I did close them. Deal 5 and updates. Okay. Come on. Cool. I get disconnected. No, I'm here. Today I'm seeing flames, guys. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing my slides. Why am I? Now. When I sent you the slides, are you able to share them? Because I'm not sure.
Yes, I was actually going to suggest, ask if you want me to send them through to you.
No,
it says you've started screen sharing. Do you want me to still send them?
No, I want you to share, just open them on Zoom so that I start. I don't understand.
I can't because I am not on my laptop.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, let's try again.
I'm sending them to your email, so just download them in a second.
No, they are here. They are on my computer, but for some odd reason, it just won't let me share the exact one that I want to share. The one that I sent you on email. So odd. Anyway, guys, while I'm fiddling with the slides, let's just start because I know them by heart. What we're gonna start with is
I'm gonna share my screen.
Just for you to meet the team, because some people are new, totally new. They've never met us, and they don't know who is behind this, behind the Wealthy One Property Stokvel. So yeah, here we go. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet, but it's saying has started screen sharing.
I can see my screen. Yes, you can, right?
Not yet. I will let you know.
No, it's just you. Now, can somebody give me a thumbs up?
Yes,
anyone that can
yes, we see it.
Thank you.
We can see it.
Jeez, come on. All right. So let's meet the team quickly, because this is who is behind the scenes on Wealthy One's Property Stokvel, the people that make it work, the people that started the Stokvel, and the people that make Stokvel work. the people that make your emails work and everything that lands on your inbox. VANGILE is the co-founder and chairperson of Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel, and she is my co-founder, right? That is me, Miranda MOLOTO. I am Prop Doc Mom on social media because I am property investor, property mentor. I am a medical doctor during the day. I'm a medical manager, and I'm a mom after this webinar. So for those that have never met us, and my duties in the Property Stokvel, I'm the treasurer, but I'm also the deal maker. What does that mean? I manage the process of how we get an investor to, or how we invest the money that the collective has put together. That is my duty. And this is Penny. And if you haven't met Penny, guys, this is the fire behind the two of us. We wouldn't be if it wasn't, right? She is making sure that this Zoom works, the WhatsApp works, your emails, they get delivered on time. And she also makes sure that your money is allocated to your name when you have the proper Stokvel number against your name. So Penny is our Stokvel admin, and she does the core accounting behind the scenes. Lots of stuff happens behind the scenes. So thank you, Penny, for doing this. And she is going to be taking minutes today, and she'll make sure that this webinar is loaded up on the website as it should be. And then do you want to say anything else about the team?
Nope, you've got it.
So here's the presentation outline. We're going to tell you about Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel and a transition. I'm going to ask VANGILE to give you the story behind. We are transiting because change is everything in this world. I am going to give you a quick update about deal number 1. I am excited. Deal number 1 is 6 months old today, and I have an update for you from Biz House, those who did deal number 1. And then I will do deal number 5 very quickly, a discussion, and we will do a lesson on hard money loaning. And I'm hoping to be off this webinar by 8:15, 8:20, but you will have time for questions and answers. So Ven, take it away. This is you doing, oh yeah, please do the mission of the Stokvel and then do the transition.
Okay,
I knew
please,
people, so I felt like let's do an update as well.
Okay, thank you. And you're going to be manning the slides today until I have good internet. Hi, guys. Hello, good evening. Thank you, everyone, for coming through today. It's lovely to see you guys. So the mission of the Stokvel has always been to seek profitable investments and to create and preserve generational wealth, and of course to share wealth and to give property investing education. But beyond that, we have a larger mission, right, which involves the numbers, which is to have 250 million rand, which is about 17 million US dollars in income generating assets in the next 5 years, creating passive income. So this directly ties into the create and preserve generational wealth, right? So the assets themselves, as we know, property is a great investment because your assets tend to increase in value depending where you're buying. Your assets will increase in value, but at the same time, your assets will also generate an income for you. So as we are paying off the monies, the loans that we take, if we take out loans to buy buildings, that is our aim, that by 2023, we start buying buildings as a Stokvel, that we then become a company and we start buying buildings, and that we start then getting income every single month from these buildings, right? So this is how you then preserve generational wealth, because you're investing in income generation assets. And of course, we're sharing the wealth because we're investing as a collective, but also we're getting income every single month, which is the goal, which is creating passive income, because we all know the power of making extra income and how that money can then be used to buy even more assets individually on our own. So this is a great way for all of us with this mission to get started in property without having to take on massive amounts of debt under our own names, and without also needing tons and tons of money. You can get started with as little as 200 Rand, your 1,000 Rand. So everyone here is investing as much as they feel comfortable investing, right? And our mission is that eventually we'll take all these monies, we'll have a conversation with you guys at the end of 2022, and then we talk about how do we then grow and start buying assets and making this money do some real gym work. Yeah, so that's the mission. Next slide, Visa.
Yeah, and the mission is looking a little bit more possible than when we put the mission down. I must say, it's just so intriguing. Please mute yourselves, guys.
Sorry.
Mute. Yeah. Okay. So Van, the story.
Okay. Okay, so guys, we have to change the name. We actually don't have much of a choice, and I'll explain why. So we're changing the name from Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel to the Property Magicians Stokvel. So in January, Mizo and I received an email from Wisani. She came up with the name Wealthy Ones in the Money Magic student group, right? So one day she started calling people, she said Wealthy Ones, and I fell in love with the name, and I was like, oh, we should definitely call each other Wealthy Ones. And we started calling each other Wealthy Ones from there. But then in January, she let me know that she didn't feel comfortable with that, and she never ever intended that we should ever use that name, and especially outside the student group. And she didn't want us using the name, right? She didn't say she didn't want us using the name, but she said she didn't feel comfortable, and she just wasn't happy with the fact that the Stokvel was named the Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel, and that the name Wealthy Ones had then been used outside of the Money Magic student group, after the Money Magic student group. And so Mizo and I had a conversation, and we sent back an email to her saying that because of this, it was never our intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable and to ever make anyone feel like we had basically stolen a name that had been used. And when the way that I understood it was that the name Wealthy Ones just started being used by all the Money Magic students all over the social media sphere, right? And that's what we started calling each other. But up until January, I didn't realize that there was something that really upset her and that she didn't feel happy about. So we decided to then contact Butanang and change the name to Property Magicians Stokvel, because we don't want the energy of this Stokvel to be mired by anyone feeling uncomfortable about how the name Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel came to be. Yes, so that is really the long and short of it, and we thought it was fair. And the reason why we chose Property Magicians Stokvel, apart from the fact that we thought PMS was so hilarious, don't judge us, guys, we're still teen girls at heart sometimes, right? But for one thing, we thought Property Magicians Stokvel because the Stokvel has come to be because of the Property Magicians podcast. Without the podcast, there would be no Stokvel. So we thought, for the sake of brand consistency, even when you're listening to the Property Magicians Stokvel, as we start to grow, we can easily just tell people, hey, just check out the Stokvel for the podcast, Property Magicians Stokvel. And it would be easier to find, it would be easier to work with. And then I was also recently told, Misa is like, oh, soya kalage, you know, but like I recently learned also that there's the link between the womb element and the earth. So what we've been told and what I was told was that a coach recently told me, her name is Ash Jones, and she was saying that there is a link between what we're doing in property and land and the womb, because Earth is a womb herself, and the Stokvel is investing in property and in land, right? So as we're focusing on this, it's also a great way that as we heal as women and we heal, obviously the Stokvel is open to men too, as we heal as women, it's also that, and we start investing in the earth, it's also very symbolic of investing in the womb. So that's also why PMS is such a ha 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 moment, but also there's so much behind it and why we love it now, right? Because it keeps reminding us that we are connected to the womb of the earth. So we then spoke to our brand specialist, whose name is Sophia, and she does our graphics. So she's been doing the podcast graphics forever. She's been doing all the stuff for us with podcasts, and we wanted to know if we should change the logo from the Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel to the Property Magicians Property Stokvel. And she said, no, we don't change the logo. We can, so she's given us two different logos. Mizo has posted the one so that you guys can see it. You guys are used to the purple one with the purple background, but we also have this one, which is the Property Magicians Stokvel, but we can still use the purple one with just a different name, Property Magicians Stokvel. And that's where we're going. And even though Sophia says don't call it PMS, I'm kind of partial to the PMS just because, like I already said, it works with the womb analogy. And what we're then, I was telling Mizo that what this then opens up for us is to do more womb work with us connecting to the womb of the earth and creating property magic. So it's opening up a whole new portal for a body of work that we can then do as a Stokvel. And of course, men are invited. All of us have, like, they have an energetic womb too. So this is the story behind the Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel and why we've changed. Someone.
Mute yourself,
Yes.
mute yourselves. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch, ouch, yes. Who's unmuted? Tandy, was it you? Yeah. So yeah, that's it. So thank you so much, guys. Let us know your thoughts. We've pretty much, we've already changed the name accounting wise. So that's already done. We're going to change it in the bank account as well. We'll keep the trading as Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel for banking purposes, because we know some people have already saved it. So don't worry about needing to change the name at the bank, but we will just make sure that everything starts to change. And we're hoping to have fun with this name. The Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel was really nice, but Property Magicians Stokvel and PMS and the womb analogy, oh gosh, it's going to lead to some exciting things.
So keep your questions to the end, guys, but I know there are very clever people here who are going to ask us about IP and stuff. We don't know if it was an IP name, but we don't think so. But
no, it wasn't. We already consulted a lawyer, remember, Mizo? Yeah. That's the first thing that I did. Yeah. So we've been guided, and we were told that we weren't breaking any laws or anything, but we just felt energetically, for very energetic reasons, right? Because also the energy behind the name, if there are people, if it already feels like it will always be mired by that you stole the name or you used the name that somebody came up with and didn't intend that this name would ever be used again, then it just feels, So I'm also going to ask people to stop using Wealthy Ones in the WhatsApp group, right? Now that we've changed the name. So call yourselves anything, call yourselves wealthy investors,
Magicians.
call yourself wealthy magicians, property magicians, whatever you call yourself, but please don't call yourselves wealthy ones anymore. So we're just, yeah, we have to do away with that.
So guys, let's go on to the business of the day. We shall take questions at the end. Not sure why you don't want to go now. Okay. So guys, let me give you an update on deal one. In October 20, this Stokvel was founded and launched in August 2021. And by October 2021, we already had a deal. We had raised something like 330,000, and there was a developer that was looking for money on the spot. And we did a deal with Biz House, a development company that develops rental units specifically in Black townships. And we did the payout mid-October 2021, and we are expecting a 17% return on investment in October 2022. The payment is on track, but the developer sent this report, and he wrote me a cute little letter on their letterhead, but we don't put up their letterheads on ours. So apparently the geotech report is when they read the ground, they read the earth, yeah, to say will it take a structure as big as the one they are building. Let's just remind you what we did with this house. We took their option one. What option one stands for is we borrowed them money, just money, right? Equity. They are building 23 units at Villa Lisa, a township in Boksburg, and not far from Don Park. They are building a 23 unit building, bachelor units that they are going to rent out. We can't co-own yet any building because we are not a trust, and their building plans were approved, their zoning was approved, they raised capital, we gave them 330,000. In December, they were standing at something like 2.2 million, and the project got underway. I'm going to show you a small little video, a snippet of a video when we are done with this. The structural development is underway, but he couldn't send me pictures, but the project manager on site just sent me a video of where they are. As you all know, we've had more than enough rain, and it continued to delay them. In the meantime, the thugs took advantage of the moment, and their tools were stolen, and the security guard was held at gunpoint, and lots of material was stolen beginning of January. But having said that, they still were able to continue with the work because he's got investors to pay out, you know, and he's got timelines, and he's got another project that's starting beginning of April. So he had to make a plan. So that's deal one. So people who paid in their monies in August, September, October, and they participated in the deal one, please know this: in 6 months' time, those 23 units, they are in 2 stories. They will be completed, and the developer feels like he is still on track for paying out in October 2022. He is expecting finishing the units by July and putting in fittings. He says what he normally does is that they normally build for like 8 months, and then he normally tenants in 30 to 60 days. So he gives himself 10 months to completion, putting in the tenants, and then he gives himself breathing space of another 8 weeks before he starts paying out investors. That's how it normally happens. It is going to be squashed, but the payout for 15th of October 2022 still on track, and you will be getting further updates if there's anything else. So I want to share this with you. Let's see. So we've got a video to share that is, please mute yourself. The etiquette of the webinar is please mute yourself. Thank you. Stop it. I want to show you the video for 30 seconds, literally 30 seconds. So, yes. So, are you able to see my screen, right? This is Bilalisa 1527.
Wait, it's still saying now we can.
Now you can. Sorry, let me just start. Because I was talking to someone who doesn't appreciate what I'm talking about when I say make me a video. He is just the project manager, and I think he's the guard on the site. He sent me what he sent me. I wasn't gonna argue. This is Bilalisa 1527. They are finishing off the ground floor. Okay. So, and now what they have to do is they use up whatever material for the day and they leave, and they have to take their equipment with them because the site is unsafe. So these are the units at Bilalisa 1527 in Boksburg. And I'm hoping to get there myself or to take some of our property magicians with to the site. So that's as much as I could get him to do, because you know he thinks the way he thinks. He didn't appreciate what I was asking, but it's fine. That's all you have, guys. So deal number one, this house, we are on track for the 6-month payment. People are going to get 17% for their investment. And I remember very well that we—
Sorry, Nizo, it's 15%.
Is it 15? Okay.
Yes, deal number one is 15%.
Deal number one is 15%. All right. So that's what you guys are getting at this house. And then the deal of the day, I want to tell you the story about deal of the day, and then we are going to go on to something else, and you will appreciate what I have to deal with daily. So as you notice, as we go into the slides, you are property magicians, nothing else, no more wealthy ones. So the details of deal 5, we were approached at the end. It wasn't even at the end of February. It was the end of week 2 of March. There's a property investor who seeks 200,000. And the 200,000 she was going to use to secure a multi-let building in the Free State. And how she was going to do the deal was to deposit 200,000 into the seller's building, into the seller's attorney's trust account, and keep it there so that she can secure the building and they mustn't sell it because she's sorting something out in the background. She wanted the building, she wanted the 200,000 for an investment period of only 3 months. That means April to June. And she had promised us an interest rate of 20%. We'll tell you all about why 20%, why the others are 15%. And we were working with investment date to be the 1st of April. And my goodness, did you all respond? We were oversubscribed. We are standing at almost 250,000. And some people are heartbroken that they didn't make it to deal 5. But I told you guys, no FOMO here. We are property magicians, us. No FOMO. Eh? We are okay, right? So whenever a deal hits the table, there are a certain number of documents that I ask for. What is the deal about? Where is the money of the investors going? Because it is just how it is. When you borrow someone your money, you need to know where it's going, when it is coming back, how are they going to pay back, and if they can't pay back, how are you going to get your money anyway, right? You need to get your money back. It's even worse when it is a collective of people who don't know this property investor from a bar of soap, and their money is going into a hole where they do not do. So with any money, including the money you borrow to your brother or your cousin, there's something called due diligence that we do, right? So the property investor, we know very well, her credentials are standing. We know that she's a property investor for sure. We even know who finances her building that she owns. And then we ask for management accounts. Is she making a profit somewhere? What's going on? Why does she need money? Those didn't come. And I wanted to see if there is an asset so that we can secure the 200,000. What does it mean to have an asset? She's got a building, sure. And is it a building that can secure? Yes, her building is way above 200,000. It's a 2 million rent building. Yes, it's got tenants and she's collecting rent, but not sure about how the collection of rent is going. So a little uncertain, but there is an asset. If the 200,000 doesn't come back, we could sell the property and inshallah get the 200,000, but that would take way beyond the 3 months now that the loan agreement was going to be on. And the promise was that she's going to apply for finance application for this new building that she's trying to buy of 2.1 million. She hasn't started that finance process. And the timelines of securing a finance from an institution can never be less than 30 days. So you are sure that if she approaches Standard Bank, Commercial Bank, or TAF, or whoever, it's gonna take 30 to 60 days for her to secure. There were so many other things in between. Now the timelines of securing that finance were again uncertain. There were other dependencies. Will she get the loan? Is she creditworthy at the institutions? That wasn't certain. That wasn't coming out clear. And that's the type of due diligence we do. Are you sure you're going to get the loan? How soon are you going to get the loan? What did they say at the bank? Have you got a bank letter? Have you got guarantees that you're going to get? Have you got any debt outside that could jeopardize you getting that finance so that you can secure that building? All of that wasn't coming out. So guys, so what we are doing with a Stokvel, we are doing one of the 9 financing models. It is called hard money loaning, right? The reason why a Stokvel is so easy and approachable is that we have done it all of our lives. We've watched our aunts and mothers do it. Hard money lending means the speed. People don't have to fill in 15 papers of and then show assets and liabilities, and then, oh, what's your credit score, what's going on, who do you owe, have you been put on judgment or something like that. That's hard money lending. But hard money lending has to be backed by an asset, and the asset in this case We always use real estate. You can't tell me about your car, your Nissan Navara that you are going to crash one day or something like that. We always secure all the loans with a real asset, and it has to be equivalent to the amount of money. But not only that, the unrealistic timelines of 3 months, 20% interest didn't look like they were attractive. So let's just talk about hard money loaning. We did promise you that on this property Stokvel, you're not going to be just a property, you're not going to be a loaner of money. You're going to learn some stuff. You'll walk away knowing some stuff. We all know what a mortgage is. Most of us here have applied for a mortgage. You know the pain of Standard Bank, Nedbank, ABSA saying no to you, and they're like, yeah, you owe Vodacom, or Edgar's blacklisted you 10 years ago and you forgot about that loan. In hard money lending, which is what the Stokvel ends up looking like, we are the lender, right? We become the institution. We give it to the investor, but we always have to have a collateral security. That's how we secure your money. So when this house doesn't pay us, they've got more than 11 buildings all over Johannesburg. So we are able to sell a building so that we can get the money back and maybe more. And they probably would have other creditors. That's what hard money lending means. And that's what happens in hard money lending. There are things, though, that are very painful with doing Stokvel modeling. And that's why the banks are risk averse and they ask for all these papers short of asking for a DNA test, right? There are pros, there are cons to hard money lending. As a Stokvel, we are easily accessible, yeah? And we are easily accessible to people, even if they are blacklisted, as long as we can secure the loan and we can secure even the timelines to say, if somebody says, I'm giving you my 100,000, but I need it back, yeah? 1st of June, I need to pay the second half of the school year. They want their 100,000. So yes, even if a person has got low credit or no credit at all, they can borrow from a Stokvel. The approval with a Stokvel is much, much, much faster. We can get the money in less than 3 days. We already had 200,000, guys. We started at the base of 50,000, and within 48 hours, we had gotten over 200,000. So it's very, very fast, and we could easily have said, yes, we are loaning you the 200,000. And then there is potential for flexible repayments, but that's not what we do here. The promise we make is the promise we keep. We have taken a very hard decision with VANGILE, and especially, you know, most of you here are money magic students. You know how we are with contracts that are linked to money. When you say you're going to do it on the day, please do it on the day. And this prospect of deal 5 didn't look like it. The nice thing for us who are investors is that you get a higher interest rate. Someone who's desperate for 200,000 today and they have to have it in 3 months' time or 6 months' time, we can charge them any interest rate that we want. Yeah, we ask for 17, we ask for 15. On the Constitution, if you look, we promised you an interest rate of 10.2% and upwards. But whenever we negotiate, we start with 15 and 17. We don't joke with people who are wanting our money, yeah? And then sometimes if you do not look closely on the collateral, that means the security of the building. If you don't look closely, you might just lose your money. I was trying to use the collateral of the rentals from the current building that the person is owning. Not sure about that. It didn't look great. And there may be some other risk when there's a market shift. If for some reason we had a total collapse of the property market, we may not get our money. But these are just general principles of how hard money lending works. And hard money lending, you do it every day. awungiboleki 10 rand, awungiboleki 50 rand. That's what you do amongst yourselves, and you never ask the person for a collateral. And sometimes, and most times, we don't even charge an interest rate, which we should actually, yeah? It's opportunity cost. We should ask that. For that reason, guys, deal 5 looks very risky, too risky, and it's the appetite that we do not have with other people's money. The timelines did not sound realistic. The collaterals were just not looking good. The only collateral we have is the sole building that the investor has that we probably could sell, but that would take way beyond the three months. And that's why you see most of the savvy developers that I've just told you about this house. This house says, I borrow your money knowing that I can do a building in 5 months or 6 months, finished, flat. But I put layers of months to say the risk of rain, the risk of non-completion, and the risk of not having tenants and the rental that I am looking for. Therefore, I stretch it for 12 months. That's how people do it. And that's how you stretch the risk so that you give yourself space so that you can pay your investors on time. And for this reason, deal 5 is delayed or deal 5 is pushed back. But don't despair, because what I have done, let's have a look at this. Okay, on your left, on the left of your screen, I'm just showing you where we are. We are almost at 250,000 because you guys are awesome and enthusiastic property magicians, and thank you for that. And thank you for trusting the type of deals that we make with your money. And when I had to pivot 2 days ago, very painfully pivot, I was sending back and forth voice notes with VANGILE for a whole morning that we don't seem to be making headway with deal 5. And with respect, I had to send a message to the investor to say, please call on us another time. These timelines don't work. The interest rate looks very attractive, but we don't have the risk appetite, not with the due diligence. The deal doesn't look great. But in the meantime, I had 2 flipping companies that I have been introduced to. One is in Johannesburg, one is in Cape Town. The one in Cape Town, they are extremely reputable. They have flipped 150 houses, and 7 of them were done during the hard lockdown in 2020. So very highly recommended companies, and they have promised me 2 deals that I can look through, and they are looking for money. They are always looking for money, they say. They are sometimes looking for just 20,000. You know, the other, apparently in January, they were looking to pay something like 55,000 to the municipality because they were rezoning a piece of land that they were going to develop. We are never without a deal. It's just the timing. So the timing of deal 5 is not working, guys. The due diligence didn't seem attractive. So I've had to pull back on that just to safeguard our investors' money. So this is what is in the pipeline. So in the next 10 days, I will know if we are doing a deal with one of the flippers, or they are going to take the whole 200,000, 240,000 or more. And that's what's happening. I am too scared to share the details now because I don't have the deal packs with me. And when I have them, we will have a quick webinar as well. By that time, VANGILE will be gallivanting somewhere. So that's what's in the pipeline. So watch the space, guys. That's what we are doing. I wanted to, everybody here knows how to join the Stokvel. The international investors now have the bank details. Everybody knows what to do. This is your time. Questions, comments.
Thank you, Lisa. This was great. Thank you for doing all that due diligence. I know it was hard, guys. It was a really hard decision because everything just sounded so attractive. and we're excited to bring it to the table for you guys, but things were just not adding up. So we had to pull back. So yeah, but Mizo is busy on other deals. So over to you guys. Do you have any questions? Just unmute yourselves and ask.
Let's go.
Not all at once, though.
Thanks, Penny. Hey, actually, you know, me, you can just take it away. I just know how to talk. I don't know how to control those things. Questions, answers, comments, clever friends, property magicians. I know, I like the magic, actually. Magicians are fine. Okay, you can put your hand up. Maybe that's how we will see if you want to talk. Anything that's unclear, anything that you feel like, Vangile, why only on your side like this? So
no,
I have,
the thing,
I'm
it's a busy phone. Trying to put your participants. Oh, the phone, guys, I'll be in Mexico next week. So my Wi-Fi situation, I hope changes, honestly.
I hope so.
I did the calculations you asked me, so in total, guys, including the 247,000 that we've raised so far, we've raised a total of 2,607,550 rand.
Thank you.
I don't know how much that is in US dollars. I know I don't want to even speculate. I think it's about 200,000 US dollars. I don't know. So close to 200,000 US dollars anyway. But we've invested of that 2,360,100 rand. So technically, guys, if we ever decide to go and buy building, we have buildings.
We have
There's
buildings.
money for that too.
We do. Sorry, we do.
Definitely happily fund us.
And there is someone, Livonia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Mehle. Go ahead. Thank you, Neo.
I am actually one of the new people, and I really love this initiative. I literally found about it last week after, and I'm so surprised after Vangile did a masterclass at one of the programs I'm involved in. So I just have one question in terms of, investing, which is not clear to me. Let's say now you guys have invested in deal number 1, and they say the returns are, I saw in your presentation, the returns are coming in October. I just want to find out in terms of the payout of the returns for those who have invested, if they will be paid to the investors in October, or if it's in line with the vision of 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good question.
That is very such a good question.
It is. So Livonia, let's start with, because you are very, very new. So right now, the Stokvel, when we started, we were excited. Yeah, we can buy buildings. But what you will know and notice about buying property, fixed assets with anybody, when you buy fixed assets with your husband, the two of you go and sign, isn't it? If you buy with your sister, the two of you go and sign. So we can't necessarily right now buy a building with all of you. You don't even know if you want to own a building with somebody who's sitting in Australia, US. We've got investors from all over, right? We've got investors. So we would have to register a trust and agree that this is how it's going to be run. That's how Clearwater Mall exists, Sentin City exists. It is a group of trusts that buy that building. And you can't say, I'm in Ansangi, Nakavai. nna ke batla tjhelete ya ka. Ha o so batla tjhelete ya hao, there are rules. So in the trust, in the deed of the trust, that will be written in. So we made a decision that yes, we start the Stokvel. You get used to the idea that you can actually start investing in property as a collective without owning. So what we are right now, we are investors that are providing equity. We are almost a semi-bank to property developers and big property investors. Okay, so we are only providing equity right now until we register a trust and agree. Do you want to enter into a trust with us and buy buildings? So the greater vision is that owning of 250 million assets, and we are gonna get there. Registering a trust requires money, minimum, your trust, your family trust, just to register a family trust. People can correct me who know here. You are going to pay a pot of 5,500, 7,000, like that. Number two, to administer a trust, you need trustees, independent trustees, and the accounting fees are higher. We don't have that money right now. Number three, who is Wealthy Ones Property Stokvel in August 2021. We are unknown in that space. That's why we didn't start with it. I hope that clears it. So for now, we are just the bank provider. We are the equity provider. That's what it's called. We just provide equity. We get high returns. And you can decide to reinvest your returns or reinvest the whole amount and keep rolling so that your money keeps working in whatever deal. And right now, I might end up with two separate deals, flipper number one, flipper number two. And if they are offering us good investments, we divide the money. We'll see how we do it. But that's the answer. So we're getting there when I live on. Good question.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Anyone else? New name is welcome. Thank you, Kanisia. Good to see you. Yes, indeed. We are birthing property magicians now. We've moved from just being wealthy. We are going to create magic with this name.
Yeah, we are.
We are. Wow, 20%. Yeah, no, almost. We're going to get there. I'm telling you, people get desperate, and flipping is very, 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 very productive, guys. You can buy a house today and sell it tomorrow to the next person. You buy it for 500,000 today, tomorrow you sell it for 720,000. Remember, the price of property is determined by the eyes of the buyer at the time. Got nothing to do with anything. And most of us buy emotionally. So you buy a 720,000, but somebody bought it at 500. So a person can promise you 20% very easily. And it happens in the property space. You just need to be sure where your money is going. I love seeing people from Botswana, Dumela Basitsana. Any more questions, guys? We are good. Thank you, Bume. Bume says something. I'm impressed. I'm happy with the team regarding how they handle the issue of due diligence. This puts us as investors at peace that our money indeed is in good hands. Your accountability and responsibility and decisive decision is impressive. It's painful when I'm Bume edited, but yes, indeed, it's hard to make the decision. And especially when most of these property investors, we know them, they are in our property circle. Yeah, I belong to maybe 4 or 5 property circles. So we do know them, and it's hard to say no, but it's also easy to say no, knowing that there are 200 other people that I have to carry. So that's what I do. That's how I would take care of my own money. So I'm glad.
I'm glad. Yeah.
So, guys, if you're here, Penny, I saw your pretty face. Voting. Nothing.
No, I was just showing my face. I never do. So hi.
Yeah, hi, Penny.
That's Penny. That's our Stokvel admin and everything. She does everything. Short of making sure we switch on our computers, we wouldn't be. Thank you. So I don't see any questions, any more questions. Hello, Basitsana. I'm very happy to be So I'm very happy about our decision, and VANGILE will keep updating you and on wealthy. What are we called now?
Property Magicians Stokvel. So good, Mizo. You did well. Umpuma says, yes.
No,
So, yes. So, guys, thank you so much. Shane, Mizo has been working at it since this weekend. Shane, we've been like, she's been updating and trying to find documents and going back and forth. And yeah, we really tried. Hey, we wanted to find some kind of like, yes, this makes sense, because we'd already been excited. We looked at the initial documents and we were very excited by the actual deal itself. But when we went deeper as to how we secure your money, that is where Mizo was doing a lot of the due diligence, and there was just no security. But we are hopeful that the next deals that we get, the next deal, the flipping deal will be a good one, and we'll secure something. And we are trying to make sure, because people were excited by the timeline of 3 months, to make sure that we get another short-term deal. So we'll see what we can secure for you guys. So there's always a deal. I don't want us to get overly sad about this. There are always deals. Like, think about us. We're always looking for money. We always want money. So there are other people in property that are always looking for money. So the only thing is exactly like the banks are always, people are always asking the banks for mortgages and to fund their deals, etc. Things need to be in alignment. We need to make sure that the paperwork is there, that your money is secure, that we will get back the money. So even though there's always a deal and we get overly excited by the deal and it looks good on paper, we will always do this due diligence. So thank you for coming through today, for listening in. You guys are now the Property Magicians Stokvel. I'm going to change everything on the WhatsApp group. We'll start calling it that on the podcast. And again, please, let's stop using the name Wealthy Ones. Call each other whatever you want, right? It's going to be good. But thank you so much for showing up. And that's it. We're going to send out this replay.
Yeah, and maybe the takeaway for today is you've learned one of the 9 strategies of property financing. So don't be despondent. It's not only the bank that funds property deals. You learned something about hard money lending and how it works. So when you want to borrow 200,000 from me and you say, yeah, I'm trying to buy this house, you're not going to get it unless you have collateral, unless the dependencies that you tell me about are realistic, and I am going to charge you a high interest rate. Yep.
Yeah.
So
and now you also understand that with all the other 4 deals that we've invested in, the money that you guys' money is secured by other properties. So there's security. If we don't get that money back, we can actually sell property to get your money back. So you can sleep easy, right? Knowing that this is the work that we do. So thank you guys. We will chat in the WhatsApp group. Feel free to ask any questions, and we'll hopefully see you for another webinar in about 10 to 14 days. I am off. I gotta hop off this. I am still packing. I'm leaving the village tomorrow, like making my way slowly towards different continents as of now.
Yeah, my nomad partner. All right, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.